Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning.
Hey guys, good morning to you. Have an interesting video here
Story
today.
Yeah, very interesting, guys.
And the information that we're going to be giving, Sheila's going to play a video in a minute, but this is from News Nation. This is their findings. This is on our part, speculation, right, alleged, whatever, because this is a big change. Yes, and you can tell by the toenail that says Judge was having sex in his chambers. And it was videotaped.
Right, exactly.
Let's watch the video, a little bit of it, and we'll, as we go through, we'll just stop at certain areas, and y'all can watch it with us.
Okay. And we'll comment. Okay, just a second. I'll bring the video up.
Don't worry.
That took our breath away was the killing of Judge Kevin Mullins right there in his own chambers. We know who fired those shots. It was on video right there. That was Sean Mickey Steins right there with the gun. He was the sheriff at that time of their rural Kentucky county. And he was also a close friend of the judge. And he's not a sheriff anymore. He's an inmate waiting for trial. Yep. But just like the CEO murder, the motive in the Judge Mullins case is a mystery, which means that the two men's long shared history has been under the microscope. And tonight, a gut punch of an exclusive to tell you about.
Yeah.
It turns out there are recordings about the dead judge that tie him to some very dirty business in that county. A sex for favors scandal that sent a former deputy to jail and got the sheriff, who's now facing murder, sued in federal court. News Nation investigative producer Allison Weiner uncovered these recordings, and she joins me live now. You're such a great producer. I mean, we send you out to dig this stuff up, and then I have to have you on television to report it. What kind of a recording are we talking about, Allison?
Well, these are recordings from the criminal investigation into Deputy Fields, the guy that went to prison for the sex for favor scandal. And Deputy Fields was convicted of rape 3, of sodomy, and also a perjury. So the recordings are from his victim. And she subsequently has filed the civil rights lawsuit in federal court. The victim is Sabrina Adkins, and she was interviewed by police about what had happened to her when she was an inmate in Fletcher County in Whitesburg.
Now listen to those words that she just said. This producer says that Sabrina Adkins was interviewed by the police. Now, our question, first of all, would be, what police agency?
What department?
Our assumption would be the Kentucky State Police. Surely she wasn't interviewed by a member of the sheriff's department, or which it could be the local police department, but I wouldn't think so, being that it's the sheriff's department. It would more than likely be the state police. And also notice the headline there in the purple: witness, Kentucky judge traded favors for sex.
Wow.
So the main thing we wanted to point out here is that this is a police investigation. This is not from the deposition.
Right.
This is from
the Ben Fields' case.
The Ben Fields case, when this lady had gone to the police and alleged that she had been raped. Well, should have said the R word, or SA, assaulted. They don't like certain words, but that's what this is from. This is not from a discovery or from a lawsuit, a deposition. This is actually, and go ahead, we'll play it, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. But go ahead and let her talk, babe. I'm sorry.
Unless you got something. No. We're good.
And that's where Sheriff Stein was working, and also where Ben Fields was working. And these recordings, I was listening to them, and I just sort of stopped and was like, I'm beginning to see that Sheriff Stein's life was coming apart, like sort of one block at a time. And this was not a good thing that I was listening to. And let's take a listen to it, and then we can talk about it.
He does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls' sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the videos?
I've seen one partly, and just him having sex with girls for the able to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there.
Who?
The judge and.
You saw the video.
Yeah.
What did you see on the video? I mean,
I've seen Judge Mullins having sex with a girl.
Who was the girl?
I don't know, because I don't know a lot of people from over.
Where was it at?
In his office, in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting Ben? Is that how you know it was a judge in chambers? And this was Judge who?
Mullins.
Stop it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That is a big finding. This lady says, isn't it funny to you guys that during the preliminary hearing, it was like pulling teeth, trying to get information from Detective Stamper concerning what he knew at that point. I know it just required probable cause for the judge. He just needed to hear enough to send it to the grand jury, and he did. Mm-hmm. But it was like pulling teeth. You couldn't get no information. But yet, this lady here, this producer of a TV show, and again, we don't know what agency. I have my ideals.
Right.
And it's real easy to find who's investigating. Who charged Ben Fields? What agency? Was that the Kentucky State Police? See, we're just putting this out right now.
If it was the Kentucky State Police, why didn't he tell that when he was in court? Stanford.
That's a good point.
I mean, if he knew about that.
That's a good point. If there was more to it,
yeah.
Why let people think that it concerned the sheriff's daughter? Mm-hmm. Why let people think that, he tried to call the phone? You don't have to tell the entire case, but you could have cleared up a lot of things. My point is, Sheila.
Okay.
They've got this lady here, a producer,
mm-hmm.
somebody on an investigative team has given her an audio of what's going on. The detective is questioning this Sabrina Adkins.
Sabrina Adkins, yes. She was an inmate.
And she's saying that she saw a video of them having sex, them, mm-hmm. and he says who, and she says higher ups, plural. Not just the judge, higher ups.
So she's indicating more than one person.
I would think so.
Okay.
I think she's implicating more than one.
Oh, wow.
Because she said higher ups. And then later on, she says another statement to that effect. But, this may explain, and we discussed that Ben Fields got 6 months for R third degree, and mm-hmm. SA, and has to register as a SAer
mm-hmm.
rest of his life, from what I could understand. Again, Sheila's got
and then he just got the 6 months for that, right?
And Sheila's got a disclaimer to put at the end of all of our videos that we do, guys. We're YouTubers now. I'm a 40-year retired police officer, but what we discuss on here is we have no inside information other than what we see or hear.
Exactly.
And ours is speculation, alleged, and so forth.
Right.
We try to be correct in what we say, and that's why we're playing the video of the people. This is not Sheila and I saying this.
No.
This is News Nation. I don't think News Nation made that video there up in order to put a story out. That's
the actual recordings.
Yeah, that's the hard thing to understand. We can't get a detective on the stand to tell what's going on in a murder case, a homicide case. But this lady here can go get a copy.
Yeah.
And surely the case is still open. Surely that case is not closed.
How did she do that?
And we've got several questions here that you all may have. But before we go on and play it,
okay,
may explain Ben Fields only sentenced to 6 months. That's got to be the sentence of the century.
Mm-hmm.
6 months for the things that he did. Tells me that more than likely, I would think, like you said earlier, plea deal.
Yeah, that's sad.
He's going to testify or has testified, or.
But that's not fair to to Sabrina. That he only got 6 months.
Well, Sabrina, at this time, this is a civil case, and her thing now is, he's been found guilty or pled guilty.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he pled guilty. And the reason to plead guilty is to keep from people let him plead guilty. And that 6 months going back may not have nothing to do. This is our opinion with a plea deal.
Yeah.
It may simply have to do with trying to plead him out, let him serve 6 months and go on about his way. Of course, there's probation involved, but probation's nothing. Let's just get him played out so we don't ever have to bring this out into the public. So it may not have to do with no plea bargain. It may simply have to do with a cover-up.
Oh.
Getting him not to, like we've said on this Mickey Stein's case, we don't think it ever go to trial. Because if it goes to trial, a lot of things are going to come out on everybody. We'll know more about it. But if they can plead this out, then we'll never know what happened there. According to the reporter, Sabrina was recorded by the police. This lady states that this is a police recording of Sabrina Adkins. Funny, can't show evidence at a preliminary hearing, but somehow a producer gets an investigative audio or videotape. Very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Video of them having sex. That was her word. Video of them having, them who?
Yeah.
Ben and her, the judge, and the girl he was with. That this lady says she didn't know. She's from, I think she's from Pike County originally, from what I've read before. She's not from Whitesburg or Lecter County.
Right.
Some higher ups, plural.
Yeah.
And then he asked her, he said, who? Who else? And she said, the judge. I seen Judge Mullins having sex with a girl.
In his chambers, she said.
Thank you, babe. In the chambers.
Yeah. And he asked her, who was the girl, and she said she didn't know the girl.
Our question was, this act providing Atkins is telling the truth. You know, if she's telling the truth, was this act on the camera system that we're looking at right there now?
Right.
Was that camera system already in? Because see, some people have said that camera system was put in after Ben Fields was accused.
Exactly. So, it was reported that the judge was the only one that they'd seen that didn't have a camera in his chambers at that time.
Well, our question was what this lady's talking about. If this is true, I have no reason to doubt her. She was telling the truth about, and he's now pled guilty to what she says he done to her, Ben Fields. So no reason to doubt what she's saying now. But was this on that camera system, or was Ben Fields filming this? Did Ben Fields show her a video on his phone that he had recorded of the judge and this girl, as stated by this producer, or as stated in that audio we just heard, providing it's authentic? I think it is. Again, this is News Nation. I don't think they would be that negligent, that reckless to post something like this. Judge involved in sextortion.
This is crazy. This is sad.
Maybe cameras wasn't put up after Ben Fields' investigation. Maybe they were already up and this was actually on those cameras. I can't see the judge doing that knowingly that he's been taped, but there's some weird people in this world.
Well, Mr. Fields had access to the cameras or something, because is he the one that showed it to the girl?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did he have access to those cameras?
Well, was it a camera or was it his cell phone?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I know what you're saying. You're asking the question, but more than likely, it seems like it was a cell phone, or he had some kind of recording device in there.
Exactly.
That maybe the judge didn't know about that was there.
Yeah.
And we've got a question here.
Yeah.
That's who had the videos, and were they blackmail? Were they for blackmail purposes? We don't know. Yeah, I think the closer you get back here to the green screen,
so we might have our green screen.
That's where you get that green tin at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just seen that when I leaned back. Look how green my head is.
Okay. All right. So
were they for blackmail? And she says for higher uppers. Once again, plural. The attorney, according to this lady, and we'll play it in a second. We'll play it in its entirety, just a couple of more minutes, seconds.
Right.
But the attorney said that filed the civil rights suit, they were running a brothel out of the courthouse. Now the rumors we heard are coming to light. You know, Sheila knows what I'm getting ready to talk about. When Sheila and I went to Whitesburg and Letcher County, and some people got mad over that video. It's back to her.
Yeah.
We had one gentleman talk to us. We paid him $100.
Yeah.
And he was the only one that agreed to be on camera. And a lot of his stuff we didn't broadcast.
Yeah.
But we talked to several. We went to Lee's Famous Recipe and sat down and ate while we was there. Some people recognized us from the day before, where we'd been on the news from finding Joseph Couch. And they sat down with us and talked to us and gave us, but nobody wanted to be audio or videotape.
They said they didn't want to be on camera or nothing, but they would talk to us.
And their reason was that people come up missing and people come up dead. That was their, and of course we're thinking, you know, well, now that we're done some more research here and there, there's been some questionable events take place, but we didn't talk on our video. We just said we're not going to spread rumors. A lot of people talked to us, but they didn't talk to us on air.
Right.
And therefore we didn't trust what they were saying enough to put it out there. There's no need in defaming somebody or if there's no proof. But the funny thing is, the exact same things, even to the point of there's something I'm noticing there in the background. Scoot over that way a little bit. There's two things in the background that we now notice, and that was exactly, and that's been way back when this first happened, that somebody told us some of the things that took place because they knew some people that worked.
They had, I guess you could say,
there.
First-hand knowledge.
Yeah.
Other people did,
And they would tell us stories, and again, they didn't want to be on camera, didn't want to, so we didn't. So we didn't fool with it.
Exactly.
Now the rumors are coming to light.
Yeah, they are. Oof.
We're more involved. When was this investigation? What this investigation this lady's talking about here? She's playing a transcript of the tape.
Right. It was last year?
I don't know.
Or
would have been when they was questioning Ben Fields, I guess, when they were investigating. Now that's been a year and a half, 2 years ago. He just pled guilty. I think this spring is when he pled guilty.
Okay.
In fact, he's probably served out. He's out of county jail by now. He served in county jail. He didn't have to go to prison.
So in 23 is when he was sentenced and stuff?
No, I think it was this spring, 24. But I could be wrong.
Okay.
But
Just
22 or 23,
22,
23, maybe as far back as 21. I don't know, Sheila. That's a good question.
Okay.
But when was the lawsuit filed? When was Mr. Pillersdorf's lawsuit? When did he file his civil rights lawsuit against Ben Fields and Sheriff Steins?
Exactly.
So, and did this investigation take place before then, or was it after the civil rights suit was filed? When did this transcript this lady's talking about, or this audio tape, take place? And what's the disposition on it? Let's assume, I'm going to assume that it was the Kentucky State Police.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, it's, well, I won't tell you. I've got my own, she's kicking me too, but I'm really disappointed in things lately. Let's assume that it was the Kentucky State Police. What's the disposition of this case? You have a reporter with a tape that some police agency was interviewing this girl, and she told him, what's the disposition of that case? Did they interview the judge, Judge Mullins? She states right there, she saw the judge having sex in his office, in his chambers with the girl.
Said she didn't know who it was.
So surely there's a disposition as to the detective or the trooper or whoever it might have been that went and talked to that judge there in the background. Right there.
There you go.
And ask him, Judge, sorry to approach you with this, but we have a girl that's alleged that a deputy sheriff has Arter and S. Ader. And now she's saying that she saw a video of you having S with somebody in your chambers. Can you tell us anything about it? What's the disposition of that? Is that true? Did the judge say, get out of here? Don't. That's an insult. Or did the judge have a reason for it? And I'm sure you ain't saying nothing. You're letting me go at it, ain't you? But again, this is my opinion.
This is more in your area than mine.
Well, no,
I'm not.
You're a good thinker. You don't have to be a cop to figure some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
By this time, did the detective go to Ben Fields, and say, where is this tape that you showed Sabrina Adkins? Where's this video out of the judge?
Who taped it? Where'd it come from? Yeah.
And if it was for blackmail or what it was for. Now, he got 6 months for some pretty hefty charges. 6 months in a county jail. You don't have to be a genius to figure out something went on there either.
I have a silly question, I guess.
Yeah, ain't no silly question.
Those charges that were brought against Mr. Fields, are any of those felony offenses?
I love them.
Okay, so why in the world, oh my Lanta, did he only get 6 months?
That's the two reasons.
A felony charge, and he gets 6 months.
He played it out, and he gave evidence against somebody else.
Not cool.
It could have been somebody else's, because she said higher ups.
Yeah.
He played out with the condition that he testifies or gives evidence against somebody else, or they don't want it out. They wanted it to stop right there with him, and they said, hey, plead out, we'll let you put it behind you, and it'll be over with.
That's not cool.
That's the two reasons that I can come up with. Now, which one is it?
Where are the other alleged people that were assaulted?
I don't know. Sheila, that's a good question, because there was another one I read where there was another person. In fact, her estate is going along with the still letting the civil suit proceed on her behalf, but she's deceased now. And I still haven't found out what happened. Let me turn this light off. I think
it's going berserk.
I think it's getting ready to blow the bulb or something.
Okay, yeah, act like it. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
But that's strange.
Yeah.
I mean, because
yeah, good question.
where are all the
felony charges?
Yeah, it said
6 months to serve.
That's
in the county jail. That your wife. I've heard that she may have been promoted since then. She may be working in the actual courthouse now, but his wife actually worked in the jail that he was in charge of the ankle bracelets on and so forth.
That's not good. That's not
why
good.
hasn't it been investigated? What was the disposition when they interrogated the judge, or did they interrogate the judge about this woman's allegations?
Yeah. I agree.
When we were there, people were afraid to talk and told us, said people turned up dead and people turned up missing. That's what some of the people, we'd ask them, can we film you? In fact, this guy that we did film, his girlfriend or wife was with him that night. When we pulled up beside them walking down the street, and she said, no, don't say nothing. They'll kill us and so forth like that. That was, the comment. Now saying, there was a comment there earlier about Steins and his wife. We'd seen on another thing where they'd had a falling out the night before, and
this lady here that's on the screen is the one that brought that out, said that they had a spat.
And guys, all kinds of different speculations out there and opinions, and that's okay. Maybe that'll make people want to tell us the truth before it's over with and go to trial with this. But did the judge, somebody said trying to kidnap my wife and daughter, or somebody else said, well, he didn't really use kidnap, he said trying to take the wife and daughter or something like that. But maybe the judge was going to file an EPO on the wife's behalf. Maybe if they did have a domestic that night before, maybe the judge had taken sides with Mickey's wife. I don't know. This is speculation, opinion, but maybe they were going to file an EPO against him, and maybe that's why he wasn't in uniform.
Yeah.
If true, didn't answer the phone, speculation, come
Yeah.
back to KSP or the agency. You know, this is real simple. This is, we need to find out who the agency was, somebody does. Who was the agency that investigated this? Where she
The
got
allegations of
this girl.
recordings, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did she talk to at that time that they recorded her stating all of this?
That gentleman talking there that asked her who was having sex. She said higher uppers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what higher uppers? And she said, the judge. He said, you saw the judge. She said, the judge was having sex with a girl. He said, who was the girl? I don't know her. I'm not from this area.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what judge? And she said, Judge Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Smoke
Judge Mullins is the one that would have sentenced her, probably. He's the district judge there that would have sentenced her to home incarceration or ankle bracelet. So she would know Judge Mullins, whether he's in that black robe or whether he's doing something else in that office. She'd been in that office with Deputy Sheriff Ben Fields.
Right.
She's been there.
Right.
That's where they would go to rendezvous. Well, elevator, different places I read where they play the rest, babe.
Okay, let's see what else she's got to say, guys.
Allison, wow, that's pretty clear. That's her saying Judge Mullins was having sex with these people in his chambers, just like the other deputy. Here's the question I have, because it seemed to me that it became an open secret among female inmates that you can sleep your way out of jail because these men and these higher-ups, not the ones necessarily on the screen, this is an allegation only, will have sex for these release favors.
That's correct. And by the way, the Sheriff Stein, denied during his deposition, which was a couple of days before the murder, that he had he had any idea that any of this was going on. But the fact is that the plaintiff in the lawsuit, again, Sabrina Adkins, said that she had heard rumors and that you could exchange sex for not having to wear your ankle bracelet. She didn't say that specifically, but for some favors. And that's exactly what ended up happening, because she couldn't afford to pay for the ankle bracelet. You have to pay for the ankle bracelet weekly. And those are the allegations in the civil lawsuit that Sheriff Stein should have known or knew about what was happening with Ben Fields. And Sheriff Stein is the big name in that lawsuit. It's Sheriff Stein and unknown superiors and Ben Fields. So he was facing some heavy damages and the loss of his entire career based on this civil rights lawsuit. And frankly, the plaintiff's lawyers told me, Ned Pillersdorf has told me several times, because it's like they were running a brothel out of that courtroom.
Wow, there you go.
Unbelievable. Well, I feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg, because there's still a lot more to connect Stein's allegedly murdering the judge based on what the judge maybe would have said to bring Stein's more into this picture. So you're invited back, anytime. Just knock on the door and you're on. Allison Weiner, Great
News Nation.
On the streets of New York.
Okay, guys. It's in your corner. Fred and Sheila, we have an opinion of our own. We have, again, nobody's ever going to know that. Thank you, babe.
There you go.
Look there in the background. Look
See
there
that?
with his hands up. Again, guys, I took some heat, and I don't mind, but on some of our calls, we enjoy the comments, and it gives one comment leads to another, and it lets people debate. And
right.
You get people's opinions, and sometimes you get something, a real smart one on there that says something and makes you think.
Yeah.
But no matter what, that guy back there sitting with his hands up, smoking a cigarette, no matter what he done, this sheriff right here could have very well put him up against that wall and cuffed him and put him in jail if there's a charge there. He didn't have the right, and I'll stick with my opinion there. It's cold-blooded de-lifing when you just pull your weapon out and de-life. I don't know what the guy done.
Yeah.
We heard all kinds of things up there.
Yes, we did.
And if they're true, then we can see, that old thing, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Maybe some people's reaping what they sow. Maybe both of these gentlemen Maybe there's more to it. I'm sure there is.
Will come out in the wash.
You know, there's no saying that a good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. Sad to think like that, but that's the truth. Judges are human beings. Judges are no different than police officers or preachers or anybody else. They can be influenced either through political power, money, favors,
Sometimes stuff like that, positions like that,
corruption.
yeah,
We know all about it.
it's sad. Yes,
Know all
we
about
do.
it.
We certainly do.
Know all about it. These people that gives up their jobs and livelihoods and things to that's what happens. And this may be, you know, the sheriff de-lifed him intentionally without there's no doubt about it. That's intentional de-lifing. It's going to be interesting to find out. Let's assume it'd be hard to know that, and him work for that judge as a bailiff for 10 years and friends all this time, and it'd be hard to say that sheriff didn't know what was going on there if anything was in fact going on. According to News Nation, there was, and according to that police
to the recording
audio,
according to that.
What if this sheriff is innocent? What if the sheriff just got so caught up in it and realized that nothing was going to be done, and I'll end it right here? Who knows? This is one of the most
puzzling. This is so puzzling, but
we can relate to it because it reminds us of another case.
Yeah, this is spiderwebby now, kind of.
Yeah.
One line will lead to here, and then he'll split, and then it goes somewhere else, and then it's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of people involved.
What about the girl?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be in this video with the judge. She's out there.
Yeah,
she's out unless she's one of the ones that's come up missing or something. She's out there somewhere. Is she going to come forward? Will this detective, ever who this is that's doing that interview, has he found her and interviewed her?
Well, will more people come forward?
I'd like to know where this investigation's at.
Right.
Where did she get this audio? Where did this come from? Where's this investigation at? This investigation is not over. This investigation will now turn into part of Sheriff Stein's. He's got two good attorneys. What's their names? Barkley's? Jeremy and Carrie Barkley from Somerset. Competent attorneys.
Yeah, they seem like they're pretty good.
So hopefully this is going to give them another avenue to go down. If the judge, this certainly doesn't look good on the judge. No, if it's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to splinter out, and it's going to be like a spider web, and it's just going to go in all different directions.
And was this the only two women? The one that Ben Fields had? Thank you, baby. Which is Sabrina Adkins.
Yeah.
Is that the only one? And the one that the judge supposedly had, according to that statement? Only two women involved?
Is that the only video of recordings of these allegations taking place?
Or were there more?
More victims,
More victims out there. Yeah. It's interesting. Guys, all we can go by is what News Nation published that story, and we thought was very interesting. Maybe you'll find it interesting.
So leave us comments below, guys, on what you think. Do you think that it was blackmail? Do you think
well, it definitely gives us a different, from what Sheila and I, when we went to Letcher County and talked to several on the streets. We walked around the streets all from daylight till dark.
Yeah, asking anybody we met.
Anybody. Yeah. Some people rubbed us off. Some people, we turned the camera off and they would talk. We hung right around the courthouse, the jail. Guy pulled up a motorcycle. People at the lease.
Yeah. And none of them wanted to be on camera, but they told us some interesting stuff. And some of the stuff that we heard was what's coming to light now.
The courthouse. People talked to us, but we had turned the camera off.
They agreed,
They didn't want to, and they gave us, and again, I'm looking right there in the background, and I'm seeing something that one of the gentleman told us something about,
Yes.
and I'm thinking, as Sheila and I was sitting there looking at that backdrop,
Yep. Yep.
wow,
We were
Sheila.
told some stuff, but we can't.
let's close it out. Well, we can't substantiate it.
Right.
I don't think we're going to have to. I think a lot of what we're hearing, that statement right there, that tape, substantiated a lot of it. That
Yep. That we heard.
we thought was rumors, we thought was untrue.
Gossip. Just.
Wow, she's under oath, and she's talking to a detective.
Yep.
Some of what she said we know is already proven to be true because Deputy Fields at least pled guilty to it. So she's got some credibility. Wow. You're up.
All right, guys. That's it for right now. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all stay warm and safe, guys. God bless you, each and every one. You all are an amazing bunch of people. We couldn't do it without you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
God bless.
God bless you all. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's coming up too.